Hello, Soul Spirit Elite. It's been a little while since I've shown my face on one of our transmissions. I believe we're at transmission 21 today, and I'm here to just give some love in person. I'm going to soon switch over to the other view for a card reading I am about to draw right now. I just meditated. I kept each and every one of you singularly in my thoughts, and then together as a collective. We are nearing the end of our 6-month journey together. All of you have made some really amazing shifts, progress, changes. You are getting more in tune to your inner knowing. There's been a lot of amazing connection with the universe, with the energies that are out there to communicate and interact with us, to help teach us. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure to experience this with you all, and I invite you to please continue for another 6 months. The links and everything will be down below, or if you have been following along as an onlooker who has not yet become an SSE member, I invite you to go ahead and consider registering for our course that starts in December. Again, it's been an absolute honor. So excited to continue and to just continue to create this space to have these experiences, to come together and learn from one another, to uplift each other, and to help each other really become all that we have come here to be. It's just been, it's as always an amazing and powerful experience to see the connection that we all do have to our higher selves and to greater potentials, and how to really hone those in, anchor those in, and create a new reality for ourselves. So let's keep it up. I mean, it's been an incredible, transformative 6 months, personally speaking as well. I'm standing here feeling like a whole new woman myself, and for that I am super grateful. I do plan on continuing that journey, of course, forevermore, and hope that you will be too. We certainly all get stuck sometimes. Stagnation is part of the process as well, but it's about self-love, self-compassion, and really growing from there. And that's exactly what we've accomplished these last several months, and I thank you for it, and I love you all, and I will see you once I throw some cards out for us. Here's our spread for today. It is from the Animal Spirit deck by Kim Krantz. I love the little message in the box. May you always be on the inner quest, and that's exactly what we're doing, where we are. And the poll that I asked for us is, as a group, how we're doing, what's going on with our intentions, with our journey, and the space that we're holding for transformation. And so that top card is kind of like the main point of why we started this journey. The second row is the beginning of our journey and before we started. The middle row is where we are now, and the last row is the ending of our journey and what comes after. So I'm going to take a still shot and then record the interpretation. Okay, so the first card, the very top, the whole point of our journey these past 6 months, we pulled the snake in reverse. It is the earth element here. And I'm going to just read the nice little summary. It's on page 73 of the Animal Spirit Guidebook by Kim Krantz. The snake is the guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. So the fact that it's in reverse, I think, is beautiful, because where upright, it is unawakened and creative potential. In reverse, I would consider that the opposite, that the full purpose of this course is to exactly tap into that unawakened force and wake it up, stir it from its slumber. We exactly do have a safe space where we can rely on each other, where there is guidance, where there is leadership. And so I love that this card was pulled for what the whole point of this is. And it's just confirmation that we are tapping into that higher force, our higher potential, that we are tapping into our spiritual essence, the kundalini that resides at the base of our spine in unawakened people. And as we awaken, these forces become more activated and can travel up our spine. Which brings us to the next card, the Stingray. And again, we have it in reverse. The Stingray is, if you look at the picture, you see that it has almost like a chakra system, is the only thing that's colored in there. So again, I'm seeing this spiritual activation, this idea of using our forces, healing our chakra systems, our energetic systems, to be more in alignment with ourselves and with our higher selves. The water element is definitely indicative that it's more of a deep emotional or subconscious process, and that's exactly what we've been digging into these past several months. And in the reading here, it's page 93 in that same book, the Stingray, developing confidence, sense of self, or spine. The Stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the Stingray must decide between the old, which is easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, which is challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again, as the force of Dharma growing within the Stingray is too strong to ignore. So again, the fact that it is in reverse means that you have gone within that subconscious, right? The reverse cards can represent our subconscious states as well. And you did take that plunge. You're not staying safe in the familiar. You did not choose to, necessarily go a conventional route when you chose to become part of this group, or when you chose to even listen to these transmissions, whether you are a part of the group or not. But you're listening to your inner path, your inner needs, a pivotal point for your personal growth. The moment has come. And this is where you're developing. You've decided to start really building that confidence, that sense of self, and activate your spine, activate your chakra centers. And again, this is the first card for the past and beginning of our journey. The next card is the Deer card in this same timeline of the beginning of our course together. The Deer is the earth element again. And this is page 81, loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. Well, hello. Our group is here to have that, exactly hold that space of gentleness and compassion as we grow, as we start this new life of being more in tune with ourselves, being more in alignment with our greatest truths. That's exactly an idea of a psychological rebirth or spiritual rebirth, and you're exactly choosing to do that. And again, I would say that the reverse is that subconscious. It's not upright in that you're birthing another being, another physical entity into this world. It's reverse in that it's your consciousness, your subconsciousness, your deeper layers that you are reorganizing, rebirthing, and recreating for a greater sense of intuition, for honing in your energetic flow. The next card again is in water. It's Beaver. Let me just flip through here, find water again. And here we go. Beaver, page 101. Hard worker, loyal, tireless, family first. The beaver personality is a welcomed sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by way of the earth element, providing a home and financial stability. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga, selfless service. So, to me, this is, a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project but once they start one, it will take them years, months, a very long time. I see that this is the commitment to your long-term steady efforts. You've begun a course of learning, basically. If you have just birthed a new self, a new idea, we planted seeds, right? What are seeds? Seeds are embryos. Seeds are bursting with new life. That was one of our very first channeled group meditations. That is going to take time to sow, to slowly create the roots, to slowly create the leaf that will come up and burst through the soil, to slowly burst through that soil, to slowly climb up towards the light. And this whole process of growth, it's tedious and it takes a long time. And it does require loyalty. It does require hard work to be able to see this through. And so that's exactly where we were starting in the beginning of this. It's been weeks. It's been months. It's been 6 months. So that's beautiful, very validating. So far, our reading here, the mouse is in the beginning of our next row here. The mouse is representing where we are currently. So that's exciting. And again, we have another earth element. I love all this earth, just bringing the intangible spirituality and healing ideas that we started with down into the physical reality and something more tangible, earthly substances. Where's this mouse? Okay, we got page 65. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, nervous. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its day fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of exacting your eye. When in balance, you're organized, resourceful, and prepared. When out of balance, there's busyness with no purpose. And to bring into balance, you should be focusing on meaningful projects. So this is very interesting, and I think that we need to continue reading to understand exactly what this is saying. If I look at the card, I do see 6 little colorful bursts of light, of energy. I see that as like our constellation, our group, kind of scattered throughout geological locations and also at different levels of development. I wonder, I know personally speaking, I've been feeling very busy, very overwhelmed with just like trying to stay on top of everything. I know that a lot of you guys have mentioned that you haven't caught up with transmissions, or, you don't do it weekly. You'll listen to them all in a bunch, or, you have intentions of getting to it and it's hard to find time. I think that that's where it might be coming from, that maybe there's a little too much of an idea of it needing to be done in a certain way, and that there's a certain checklist of things that need to happen in order to be part of this group or to be in your life right now, currently. I mean, this isn't necessarily just relating to our group happenings. This is our outer worlds as well. And the fact that this is upright is telling me it's not just about the subconscious workings. This is also about your external reality. So is there too much going on outside of you that's maybe even preventing you from doing all of the inner work that you had intentions of doing in the beginning when you signed up? Are there things in your life that are almost pulling you away from more meaningful projects, like your inner work, your inner self, your physical and mental, emotional healing, your spiritual prowess, your clairvoyance, your intuition, these things that really matter as far as honing in our truth, our true self, and not being swayed easily by external forces. Is there a little bit of a recalibrating of intentions that needs to happen as far as your scheduling goes or your sense of purpose goes? I'm going to skip the middle part just for a second here and jump to that Panther. It's fire. We got Panther fire sign. So here we go. Panther, annihilation, page 129, annihilation of the unnecessary, purging. The Panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc, with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating, but after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. When in balance, you're brave and productive. When out of balance, there's self-destruction. And to bring into balance, you must get rid of the unnecessary. So there you go. That's why I felt compelled to skip right to Panther. The mouse, think about how they scurry around and just like constantly, when you think about mice, they're busy creatures, always getting into something. And maybe doing some unnecessary work there, just like we mentioned. And now Panther comes along. Panther is like, cut all of this crap. We are not going to be nitpicking. We are not going to be struggling over little details. That is wasting way too much conscious energy, which is why this is now upside down. So what in your 3D life, mouse upright, are you focusing too much on? Are you letting drain too much of your energy? Are you needing some reorganization or reprioritization of? So you have better conscious and subconscious control. So you have more health. Allow those forces within you to recalibrate what needs to be done. Sit down, meditate, ask your higher self, what needs to be annihilated? What is unnecessary in my life right now? What is unnecessary in my thought patterns right now? How am I self-sabotaging myself in my 3D world? By my thought patterns, by my belief systems, by my habits. What's going on there? This is what's happening in real time right now. Okay, and then we have the golden egg, which is a spirit card. This is the middle. This is like the ultimate truth of our presence right now. Message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. Within the golden egg, page 193. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discernment, until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart. Stay open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. So that kind of pulls together the fact we have this mouse, this busy 3D work that's keeping us busy, when we should really be focusing more on this heart space, on this deeper, restful ease of truth. And we need to use that Panther energy to really allow ourselves that space, to create that space, to get rid of the 3D chatter, to really get into this greater truth from deep within. Now, when I first pulled these cards, they came out in a very interesting, erratic way. And below the golden egg was another card, and I left it there. Below that this is the air sign for sure, the crow. So I'm going to flip through, find the crow here. Page 165. So behind this golden egg, we have the crow, which is really beautiful because where do crows come from but eggs, right? And it's standing on this golden-centered, multicolored, vibrant ball, that circle, which can totally represent spirit, your spirit, right? Now, crow, spiritually strong, creative, watchful. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities. Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Past, present, and future. That is the card layout that we channeled here today. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. Those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. When in balance, you're psychic, strong, and clear. When out of balance, you're ungrounded or hypersensitive. And to bring into balance, daily meditation practice. Okay, so this is speaking totally to me too. I can be certainly, when I'm ungrounded, my spiritual connection is as strong as ever, but is not solid. I can't bring it to this 3D space. There's a disconnect there. And I can definitely get thrown up then into anxiety is how it manifests for me. Anxiety and being hypersensitive, emotionally speaking and physically speaking. This happens when I allow my 3D world to dominate my thoughts. And when the 3D world dominates my thoughts, I'm more in fear or suspicion, worry, anger. Those are very dense emotions that do drain us. But if I'm focusing, too much on the administrative aspects of my job, if I'm focusing on listing all the tasks that I think must get done, ideally speaking, I'm drained immediately, even just conceptualizing, even just, planning my tasks for the day, I'm already done. But when I approach my days, reminding myself that I have a greater soul purpose that I am fulfilling and that stays on the forefront of my mind as my priority for the day. When I say my prayers and intentions and tap into my spirit guides, when I follow their flow, oh my God, I'm bueno. My day, it goes well. And it doesn't just go well, it goes magically. And the people who I'm connecting with, they're full of magic too. And I ride high and share that sense of joy and gratitude with others. And I'm flying, like the crow with the wings. My wings come out. And I do believe that we come together as a group because we have similar, we're in a similar place, spiritually speaking, emotionally speaking. So I'm sure this must be speaking to you in some way, that I was compelled to share just that personal connection I have with this present interpretation. But I just love this. Oh my God, I love that the crow is behind the egg. It hatched from this egg, and how validating this whole truth, and the crow symbolizing that past, present, and future, the perspective that we can gain there. And that crow, what is it rooted truly into? What is it digging its toes, its claws into for stability? But spirit. That's where we should all be. And now I'm jumping back to that mouse picture with all those little bubbles. Those are each of our spirits. Those are each of our individual soul colors, our unique spaces that we can each be perching upon, instead of having this mouse in the forefront. Zoom out, see the bigger picture. Look at where we really are. Look at those beautiful souls that we have, and that are begging us to tap into more, to give us a better future, which is what brings us to our third line here. And it starts with the rabbit. Again, earth. We have 2 earth and a water. Yep. I have an earth, a water, and an air. Excuse me. So, starting with earth in reverse, our rabbit. Where are we here? We are on page 67. Oh, heck yes. So I'm already seeing this as not a subconscious or inner truth card being reversed, but as we're going to read this in opposite. We have overcome this rabbit energy. Rabbit energy being afraid of everything, overwhelmed, frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it, so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. That's that self-sabotage. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words. Oh, rabbit, they shape your destiny. When in balance, sensitive, problem solver, good listener. When out of balance, over-explains, talks fast. To bring into balance, practice a day of silence. So, again, I see this as us overcoming this type of energy. Using the present line of basically annihilating those fears, those scurrying, chaotic thoughts of mouse energy. We kind of put our rabbit in place, and we know to stay more grounded. And in fact, I find it interesting that this card brings up that eagle swooping down, when in a lot of cultures that eagle, what does that eagle mean? I mean, even for America, it's freedom. The eagle is a strong spiritual totem of having that greater view, that bird's eye view of being majestic and strong and powerful and safe, being able to fly above all of the drama. So let's hold on to that eagle energy instead of being the scared rabbit who calls in his or her greatest fears by focusing on them so strongly and speaking them into existence. If you don't have anything empowering to say to yourself or others, practice silence instead. If your brain starts going a mile a minute in fear zone, in war zone, in stress zone, in anxiety, cut it off. Annihilate that stuff. Call in your Panther energy and silence that rabbit. You don't want that siren to call in exactly what it's fearing, because we absolutely have that power, especially as we become more in tune to our higher selves, more in tune to the spiritual connections we have every day in our everyday lives. So then we have the turtle, water, page 105. Ancient soul, grounded, trusting, at home in the self. And this is upright. The last two cards are upright, and I totally love it. It is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, which we had in the beginning, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truths of life, no matter where their travels lead them. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shells for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us close all other books and begin to tell our own true tale. So there you go, our inner truth coming in upright, and the turtles are such ancient, spiritual, wise creatures who live for potentially over 100 years, maybe hundreds of years, deep in our oceans, right? They own that subconscious, those deep subconscious waters, those deep emotional waters. They live there, and they have such a strong backbone for it. They have such a strong shield of protection. They are safe in these waters, even though they can be so deep and dark. And I see also that ancient, I can't even think of what cultures, but I do believe there are some Native American, if not others as well, that the basically earth is built on the back of a turtle, of one beautiful, huge Mother Earth, Mama Turtle, who came out of those waters and was able to house us like an island of land on her back. There are many different ways that cultures use or read the shells of turtles, and so again, this is just a very deep spiritual totem for many different cultures, and so there's more of a pan spirituality, a more unified, greater truth of this type of spirituality than maybe some other symbols. And I see here that we're embodying, we're heading towards embodying those deeper truths. We're heading towards embodying a stronger sense of self that is protected in the waters, where we do have this power and this strong relationship with our own self, which is what we're striving for here. So yay, thank you, hallelujah, we're doing it. And then the dragonfly, which again is air. The final card, 157, inspired and fantastic. I said that very weird. Inspired and fantastic, yet fleeting. The firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. Oh, this is the firefly. I'm reading Firefly. This is why I read it weird, because I'm not supposed to be reading the firefly. I'm supposed to be reading the dragonfly. Where's our fellow, the dragonfly? Maybe also I should be speaking about my own personal experiences of dragonfly, because this is one of my major spiritual animals in general. But I found it, so here we go. Page 169, Dragonfly, master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder in all. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, you see clearly, joyful, and magically. When out of balance, you cannot concentrate and have a busy mind. To bring into balance, focus on the breath. So that's beautiful. Dragonfly, master of light and the mind. That's certainly, again, our goal here. And the moving, shifting, shimmering is exactly what evolution is, constantly moving, constantly shifting. And hopefully we're shimmering and glittering in the process instead of, constantly being burned down into phoenix ashes, but it's all part of it. But here, the dragonfly, definitely my personal associations with the dragonfly is how ancient it is. It's been around since the dinosaurs. The DNA of the dragonfly has not changed much since then, if I'm understanding correctly and I've been taught correctly. And the personal message that I get from dragonflies is, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Just like that song. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. It's so true. And I love that that's the message going off into our future. That's totally just a big hug from the spirit world, if you ask me, saying, yes, you're learning, you're growing, you're changing. It's a good thing. You're coming to your higher truths. And the dragonflies too, they hang out in the water and the air, where the turtle, we're talking about earth and water. So this is just bringing in more elements. You're expanding into more space, more truth, more qualities of what does exist in this 3D world. And rooted in spirit, like we see in the crow card, you're going to go far with this, and you will have your wings. And the dragonfly does not have just one set of wings, but two. And that allows it to navigate the air and those points of view with an even finer precision than an eagle can. That is, I think, a really exciting way to send us off, as I said, and super validating that you have been putting in the work. And the last few cards I noted are inviting us to get into that space of meditation, to get into that quiet space, that focus on your breathing space, that carving out time space for just being and convening with spirit and your higher self in a more receptive way, as opposed to an action type way of doing things, of having a prayer or setting up an altar or going out and doing good deeds. This is asking us, in order to keep leveling up, to go within and to quiet and to settle and to listen and to silence our fears and our anxieties and our busyness for a deeper calm and a deeper truth and a higher perspective. And we really have awakened a beautiful quality or attribute within each and every one of us, and have taken it to that next level. And we started with earth, snake, and we ascend up to air, dragonfly. And I find that very interesting, that they're both pretty ancient creatures. Snake brings us all the way to the beginning, and that root chakra. And dragonfly brings us all the way up to the heavens. So, yay, we are expanding here, and I am so honored to be a witness and to be a space holder for that with you all. So again, thank you, and keep it up. You're doing it. Happy Sunday.